Part 1, The Last Farewell. The village of Ravenswood was small and quiet, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests. No one visited unless they had to, especially not the old cemetery on the hill, where the graves were said to whisper in the wind and shadows moved just beyond sight. Lily, a young woman with tired eyes and a heavy heart, arrived that evening to attend her estranged uncle's funeral. He had died alone, under mysterious circumstances, and Lily was the only family left to bury him. The funeral service was held as twilight fell, casting long shadows across the gathered mourners. The coffin was draped in black velvet, resting atop the freshly dug grave. An old priest led the prayers, his voice trembling slightly as he spoke words meant to send the soul peacefully onward. But as the first handful of earth was tossed onto the coffin, Lily felt a chill sweep through the air, a sudden silence that swallowed the whispers of the wind and the murmurs of the crowd. The candle flames flickered violently, casting grotesque shadows that danced along the trees. Then she saw it. A faint figure, pale and translucent, hovering just above the grave. It was her uncle's spirit, but something was wrong. His eyes were empty voids, and his mouth opened in a silent scream. Lily gasped and reached out instinctively, but the apparition vanished like smoke. The priest's voice faltered. "May the soul rest in peace." But Lily knew it wouldn't. As the crowd dispersed, she stayed behind, drawn by a force she couldn't explain. Suddenly, the ground beneath the grave shifted. The dirt trembled like a heartbeat. And from the earth came a whisper. "Don't leave me behind." Lily's blood ran cold. The spirit of the dead was not at rest. And it wanted her to stay. Part 2, The Whispering Grave. The crowd had long since disappeared, leaving Lily alone in the growing dark. The flickering candlelight from the funeral had been extinguished, and a thick fog began to roll in from the woods, curling around the weathered tombstones like ghostly fingers. Lily knelt beside her uncle's grave, her hands trembling as she brushed away loose dirt. The whisper echoed again, soft but urgent. "Don't leave me behind." Her heart pounded. She scanned the shadows between the trees but saw nothing. Suddenly, the ground beneath her shifted violently. She stumbled back, clutching the dirt as if it might swallow her whole. The earth cracked open, a thin fissure stretching from the freshly buried grave down into darkness. From the fissure, a cold breath seeped upward, carrying with it the unmistakable scent of decay. Lily's mind raced. What had her uncle done? Why was his spirit trapped here, begging not to be left behind? Her fingers found an old, dirt-covered locket tangled among the roots beside the grave. She opened it to reveal a faded photograph of a woman she didn't recognize, smiling warmly, too warmly. The whisper came again, clearer this time, coming not just from the grave but from all around. "Find her. Free me." Suddenly, Lily's vision blurred. Images flashed behind her eyelids, a funeral decades ago, a dark figure lurking near the graveyard, and a hidden secret buried deep beneath the village. Shaken, Lily stood, clutching the locket. Her uncle's restless spirit wasn't just lost, it was trapped by something far darker than death. And if she didn't act soon, she might be trapped with him. Part 3, The Hidden Secret. Lily returned to her small cottage, the locket heavy in her palm. Her thoughts raced. Who was the woman in the photo, and what did find her? Free me. Me? She pored over old village records, searching for clues. The archives were dusty and filled with faded ink, but eventually, she uncovered a chilling tale. Decades ago, a woman named Eliza Gray had vanished without a trace. Eliza was rumored to have been involved in dark rituals and was feared by the villagers. Some whispered she was cursed, others that she was a spirit trapped between worlds. More disturbing was a single line in an old newspaper clipping: "The great curse haunts Ravenswood, those who disturb her resting place shall suffer eternal unrest." Lily's skin prickled. Could her uncle have disturbed Eliza's grave? Her heart thudded louder as the sun dipped below the horizon. Outside, the wind howled through the trees, carrying that same whisper. "Find her. Free me." Lily realized she was no longer safe. The spirit of her uncle was calling her deeper into a mystery tied to Eliza Gray, a mystery that might consume her soul. Determined, Lily grabbed her coat and the locket. Tonight, she would return to the cemetery. Part 4, Nightfall at Ravenswood. The village clock struck midnight as Lily stepped beneath the gnarled trees of Ravenswood Cemetery. Fog wove thickly between the tombstones, muffling her footsteps. The locket pulsed softly in her hand, a heartbeat she could feel in her bones. She moved toward the oldest part of the graveyard, where legend said Eliza Gray had been buried. The earth was cracked and broken, as if something beneath had clawed to escape. A cold wind swept through the stones, carrying the voice again, but this time, it wasn't a whisper. It was a desperate wail. Find me. Free me. Or suffer. Lily's breath hitched. Ahead, a single gravestone jutted from the soil. The name was almost torn away, but she could make out. Eliza Gray. Gone but not forgotten. She reached out to touch the stone, and the ground trembled beneath her. Suddenly, the dirt in front of the grave shifted, rising in a swirling mound of black earth and tangled roots. From the mound, two pale hands broke through the soil, clawing, grasping. Lily stumbled backward, heart pounding. From the earth emerged a woman, her eyes hollow, her skin ghostly and cracked like porcelain. Her hair hung in wet strands, and her mouth opened in a silent scream. Eliza Gray. Gone but not forgotten. She reached out to touch the stone, and the ground trembled beneath her. Suddenly, the dirt in front of the grave shifted, rising in a swirling mound of black earth and tangled roots. From the mound, two pale hands broke through the soil, clawing, grasping. Lily stumbled backward, heart pounding. From the earth emerged a woman, her eyes hollow, her skin ghostly and cracked like porcelain. Her hair hung in wet strands, and her mouth opened in a silent scream. Eliza Gray's spirit had awakened. Lily realized with horror, the spirit wasn't just trapped. She was angry. Part 5, The Curse Unleashed. Lily's breath caught in her throat as Eliza's ghostly figure hovered above the grave, her hollow eyes locking onto hers. The cold seeped deep into Lily's bones, and the fog thickened, wrapping around her like suffocating chains. Why are you here? Eliza's voice echoed, a hollow whisper that seemed to crawl inside Lily's mind. Lily swallowed hard. I want to help you. Your spirit is trapped. You don't have to suffer anymore. Eliza's face twisted in anger and sorrow. No one helps the cursed. I was betrayed. Buried alive. Forgotten. The ground beneath them rumbled again. Shadows slithered between the gravestones, and distant cries echoed in the night. Lily's eyes darted around. The spirit's rage was awakening something ancient beneath the cemetery. Your uncle disturbed my rest, Eliza hissed. He dug too deep, and now the curse spreads. Images flashed in Lily's mind, her uncle in the graveyard, digging frantically, uncovering something wrapped in tattered cloth. Can I stop this? Lily asked, voice trembling. Eliza's gaze softened, just a fraction. You must find the relic. The binding token that holds the curse. Destroy it, and set us free. Fail, and the dead will rise. A sudden chill swept over Lily. The whisper was louder now, 1,000 voices crying out from the earth. Free us. Or join us. Lily clenched the locket tightly. Her fight to break the curse was only just beginning. Part 6, Into the Catacombs. Guided by the locket's faint glow, Lily found herself standing before an ancient, iron gate partially hidden beneath twisted roots. Beyond it lay a narrow stone staircase descending into darkness, the forgotten catacombs beneath Ravenswood Cemetery. The air was thick, damp, and carried the stench of death. Her footsteps echoed in the narrow passage, the only sound besides the distant drip of water. As she ventured deeper, the locket pulsed stronger, leading her through twisting tunnels lined with bones and cobwebs. Shadows flickered at the edge of her vision, whispering unintelligible words that chilled her soul. Suddenly, the tunnel opened into a small chamber lit by flickering torchlight. At its center rested a rusted iron box, covered in arcane symbols and sealed shut with heavy chains. The locket burned hot in her hand. Lily's fingers trembled as she reached for the chains, but a low, guttural growl echoed behind her. Spinning around, she faced a figure cloaked in shadow, eyes glowing red in the dark. The dead had come to guard the relic. Lily's heart pounded. There was no turning back. She gripped the locket tightly, steeling herself for the fight to come. Part 7, The Guardian's Challenge. The shadowy figure stepped forward, its glowing red eyes boring into Lily's soul. Its breath was cold, like the grave, and every step it took sent a ripple of dread through the chamber. Lily's grip tightened around the locket. She had no weapon, only determination. The figure raised a clawed hand, and the air grew thick with darkness. A voice echoed in her mind, ancient and cruel. "You seek to break the curse. But at what cost?" Lily swallowed hard, stepping toward the chained box. "Better to risk all than live in fear," she whispered. With a surge of courage, she yanked at the chains binding the box. The locks shattered, and the lid creaked open. Inside lay a twisted relic, a cracked, blackened heart encased in iron, pulsing faintly like a dying ember. The Shadow Guardian lunged, its claws slashing through the air. Lily dodged, clutching the relic. It burned cold in her hands, then exploded in a blinding flash. When the light faded, the Guardian was gone. The chamber trembled, and the whispers ceased. The curse was broken. But as Lily stumbled out of the catacombs, the dawn light caught her eyes, and she realized the relic's final secret. It wasn't just a curse. It was a binding. And now, it was binding her. Part 8, Bound for Eternity. The first light of dawn spilled over Ravenswood Cemetery, casting long shadows that seemed to crawl and stretch with unnatural life. Lily emerged from the catacombs, clutching the remnants of the relic, now cold and dull in her hands. Relief washed over her, but it was quickly replaced by a creeping dread. The locket around her neck pulsed one final time before sinking cold and silent. She looked down at her hands. Her skin was paling, veins darkening beneath the surface as if shadows were bleeding into her flesh. A whisper brushed through the morning air, soft and mournful. "Welcome to the endless rest." Lily's breath caught. The curse had been broken, but the binding had transferred. She was now the guardian of Ravenswood's dead, tethered forever to the spirits she had freed. As the cemetery gates slammed shut behind her, Lily understood the terrible truth. Freedom came with a price. And some spirits never truly leave. The wind carried one last voice, a faint echo from the grave. "Don't leave me behind." Lily's eyes darkened. The restless dead had found their new sentinel. Part 9, The Sentinel's Burden. The morning sun warmed Lily's face, but inside, a cold weight settled over her chest. Her reflection in a tarnished mirror hanging in the caretaker's cottage showed eyes no longer her own, deep black pools swirling with shadows. Her body felt heavier, tethered to the earth in ways she couldn't explain. The spirits of Ravenswood whispered constantly, filling her mind with their grief and anger. They were trapped, restless, unable to move on, and now, so was she. Each night, when the village fell silent, Lily heard footsteps echoing from the graves, saw figures drifting just beyond the tree line. She tried to leave, but found the gates locked tight, a prison not for the dead, but for their new sentinel. One evening, as fog thickened into a choking blanket, a small voice broke through the chorus of whispers. "Help me." Lily turned to see a child's spirit, translucent and trembling. "Who are you?" she asked. "My name is Clara. I was lost. Taken." The child reached out, her hand passing through Lily's own. Lily realized the spirits weren't just trapped by the curse, they were held captive by something far older and darker beneath the cemetery. Her fate was clear. To save them all, she must confront the ancient evil lurking beneath Ravenswood. And to do that, she must embrace the darkness inside her. Part 10, Embrace the Darkness. Days bled into nights as Lily learned to navigate the restless voices swirling in her mind. They told stories, whispers of betrayal, sorrow, and a darkness older than the village itself. The child, Clara, became her guide, leading her to forgotten corners of the cemetery, to worn-down crypts and secret passageways hidden beneath layers of moss and earth. One night, under a blood-red moon, Clara led Lily to a crumbling mausoleum at the cemetery's edge. The heavy door creaked open as if inviting her, and inside, an altar stood covered in dust and faded symbols. At its center lay a cracked obsidian skull, eyes glowing faintly with an eerie light. "The source," Clara whispered. "The darkness that binds us." Lily reached out, feeling a cold pulse as her fingers brushed the skull's surface. Suddenly, visions flooded her, faces twisted in agony, flames consuming the village long ago, and a shadowy figure cloaked in void. She realized then, the evil wasn't just beneath Ravenswood. It was inside her now. Her heartbeat quickened. To free the spirits, and herself, she would have to confront that darkness head-on. And risk losing herself forever. With a final breath, Lily grasped the obsidian skull. The shadows surged. Her fate was sealed. Part 11, The Heart of Shadows. As Lily held the obsidian skull, the mausoleum seemed to pulse with life. Shadows twisted and writhed, crawling up the walls like living smoke. The air grew thick, heavy with the scent of earth and decay. A deep voice, ancient and cold, echoed from the darkness. "You who carry the binding, you cannot escape me." The shadowy figure appeared, a towering wraith cloaked in swirling black mist, eyes burning with cruel fire. Lily's heart pounded, but she stood her ground. "I'm not afraid," she said, her voice steady despite the fear clawing inside her. The wraith laughed, a sound like cracking bones. "You are mine, Sentinel. Bound to serve." Lily closed her eyes, feeling the weight of the spirits she carried, their hopes and fears pressing on her soul. With a cry, she shattered the obsidian skull in her hands. Light exploded, burning away the shadows. The wraith screamed, dissolving into a cloud of dark ash. The spirits around her sighed in relief, their forms shimmering softly as they began to fade, finally free. Lily fell to her knees, exhausted but victorious. The curse was broken at last. But as dawn broke over Ravenswood, a quiet voice whispered in her ear. "The darkness never truly dies." Lily looked up, eyes bright with resolve. "I'll be ready." Epilogue: Shadows never sleep. The village of Ravenswood slowly returned to peace. Graves stood silent beneath the soft morning light, and the restless whispers faded into memory. Lily walked through the cemetery one last time, the weight of the sentinel's burden lifting from her shoulders. The locket around her neck was gone, replaced by a simple silver ring, an heirloom of hope, not chains. Yet, as she turned to leave, a cold breeze swept past her, carrying a faint whisper on the wind. "We are still here." Lily paused, a shiver running down her spine. Some darkness never truly dies. But neither does the light. And she would be there, standing between them, forever vigilant.